Hello, this is Frontline here, and welcome to another episode of Craftaway. And in this one, we have a very special episode, and that is because we are going to be actually building something with the plot picker that is behind me. BullyBait actually ended up creating this structure quite a while ago, but I haven't had the opportunity to use it quite yet. So in here, we have various different plots throughout the entirety of the spawn town on the Craftaway server, and I am going to be able to choose what kind of a plot I want to build. We've got the residential ones, smaller builds, some suggested stuff. We've got challenge plots, and then we've also got like civic buildings and placed build plots and like all that kinds of stuff. So what I want to do is that, honestly, I probably want to be able to have, well, actually, I'm not 100% certain. I mean, these ones, suggestions mandatory. I mean, to some people, that may be a little bit intimidating, but I actually kind of like when I have a little bit of a template to work with, and then I can just do whatever I want to with that design. Challenge plots, I was originally not going to do a challenge plot because Sunfire, or, well, not before Sunfire. So I was originally not going to do a challenge plot because originally there was actually a empty spot in front of my courthouse, and I was thinking, well, if I end up getting my like the statue in front of the courthouse, well, then I'm just building like the that whole entire courthouse plus the statue. I feel like it's kind of cool if someone else contributes to it as well. Now that's not really a problem because Sunfire built it. And then there's the residential plots where I'm pretty much able to do whatever I want to with it. So let's just like look at the different plots over here. So if I get blue, I'm definitely like kind of in this like varied area within here. The yellows seem to be quite concentrated up there, and what's this? What's like this little yellow thing? I'm actually kind of curious. But yeah, I feel like yellow would be a cool thing just because they're mandatory, and it's like it's a template, and I like I said, it's kind of cool. I feel like I could relieve the pressure off of someone else to do the same thing. So why not? Let's just go into here. I've got a yellow. I can just put that in here. I think I'm doing that correctly, at least. Yeah, that was step 1, and that was step 2. I have watched people do the system, but I've also seen people do it incorrectly, so I want to be very careful. Okay, we have a little bit of flashy, and okay, yeah, it says, okay, let's decipher this. C3, C. That's 3, right? Yeah, this is C3, so it's, well, actually, it could be either that one, or this one. And this one's kind of a miscellaneous one, so I'm actually kind of curious of what that is. But 153.64 is the coordinate, so I'm going to try and head over there and see which one we get. And then I'll be able to even show you guys the plans for what we're going to do with this thing and that whole entire building process as well. I'm still going to have to sleep through the night and head over there though, so be back in a second. Alright, so as you can see, I am at 153.64, which is what the thingy says. The paper, that's what it's called. It's what the thingy says. So anyway, I'm right here on the plot, and I realize now that I probably didn't need to cut away from the video because, well, look at how close the plot picker was. It's literally like less than 20? I don't know, maybe that is 20 blocks away, but nonetheless, it's not really that far away from where we got even the plot. So anyway, right here, townhouse. This building is connected to the one next to it. Storefront roadside. So basically what I'm getting from this is that this is going to be a townhouse. There's actually going to be a store that I'm going to have to look it up just in case I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this means that like the store is accessible from the outside. It's not going to be a store that's on the inside, that there's going to be like an overhang here or something, or I don't know. I'm going to have to definitely look at how I'm going to design this thing, especially since I also want to make sure that it does connect to this house here, which is a challenge plot. And yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting to be able to have a design that doesn't exactly emphasize this side. Like I gotta keep in mind that this side's probably just going to be a flat wall, and I don't have to like decorate it at all. And oh, actually, I don't have to decorate this side either. Oh, this is a simple plot. This is an easy plot. I just have to decorate the front and, well, maybe the back a little bit. But once like this blue house is built, even the back doesn't really matter. So the main things that I need to focus on with this building is the front and the roof. The front and the roof are the two most important things. So yeah, this is definitely not necessarily a challenge plot, but it's going to be kind of fun. I think that this is actually going to be a really cool little townhouse that I'm going to be able to create. So I'm not sure if I'm going to show you guys the creative process in creative mode, but nonetheless, I'll still be able to show you guys maybe a design on screen or something, and we'll see what happens in the next clip when I start actually building this thing. So within that time lapse, you were able to see me build the exterior of the house and all of the basic main components and structures that come along with it. But I also didn't show you guys the detailing that happened afterward. Basically, I added these trap doors because of the new update. We do have awesome new designs for these trap doors. And these ones are spruce ones, if you can't tell. They kind of match the door. As well as that we have the spruce fences. I tried to add them like more vertical instead of horizontal, but those didn't really work right because at times they were only like going down the sides or filling up the entire space. And it's basically the same thing on the back. It's a very much mirrored design. It's just that I did want the back to be a little bit different so that it's more symmetrical instead of requiring to have like a door on one side or anything. Originally there was like a stripe at the top, just like these middle things here. I'm not sure if I want to keep these or get rid of these, but the one thing that it does do is give it like a little bit more pattern and texture, and it looks a little bit more like what medieval houses do look like, because they don't, it's not like they just have giant white panels. They have white, but it's all behind some sort of like fenced off area type of thing, and the fences don't really quite look right for that. It's like it kind of has a better texture variation in this kind of way. But anyway, it was kind of interesting building this because I did mess up a little bit, and not really in a way that matters. It was just more like in my testing world when I came up with the design, I was just thinking, okay, so it's like I was thinking of this side. It has the yellow bits going for a 12 by 17 area, I think it was. I don't have my notes with me, so I'm not quite sure. But I was just saying, okay, 12 by 17, I'm just going to be able to build right over this line, and it won't be able to affect any of the builds next to me. And I realized halfway through that apparently I was building right over the line, and it's the only line for this plot as well. So unfortunately, I did creep a little bit onto this area. I mean, this area still has quite a bit of room to work with. Technically, I could even maybe go one extra over. It would kind of squish into the path a little bit, but it's like this is the main central townhouse, and the others are supposed to be attached. So I think that I can let it slide. I mean, it was just like a small thing. So the other small thing, there was two, is that apparently I did not at all remember that this sloped upward. Apparently the build goes up into here, and this side, when I was building it, I completely did it correct. Like I lined it up with the other side somehow. I'm still not sure how I was able to do that. I'm also not sure if it is lined up now that I look at it, though. How did I line this up? I actually have no idea. But it ended up being that this part was supposed to have gone down like a little bit more. Apparently there's a lot more extra blocks that I didn't quite fill in here. I'll have to fix that later. But yeah, it was just like... it kind of gave me an idea for having like a trapdoor right here, because obviously the inside, if we go through here, the floor level is here. So I could obviously just hide a piston in here to get rid of that whole entire thing. I ended up going with a different idea, but that was just something I kind of wanted to show you guys before I did the inside, is that this build was kind of interesting to do. Did a little bit of stuff after the time lapse, and mistakes were made, but not mistakes that were bad, just mistakes that didn't make the build go completely according to plan. And I guess one thing I could also note is that obviously, like I mentioned in the first clip, is that these sides are completely flat, mostly just so that people aren't able to look into the building, and it's more easier for people who are building in these two plots to line it up with this and not like go into that build or anything, you know. So anyway, back to the next clip, where I'll show you guys more progress on the inside of the build. Okay, so now that I've shown you guys the outside, finally I can show you guys the inside. It's taken me a while to be able to create it, but yes, we have Redstone products inside. That's what it says on both of the signs. It's the storefront. I don't think I mentioned it, but the storefront does not mean that the store actually is outside. I was looking that up, and it was like that in reality that was like a Greek culture thing, I think. Like I know that in Pompeii, like especially, which actually might be Roman, but anyway, so like that whole entire storefront idea where people could just walk up is a lot more ancient of a concept than even medieval times. I know it's kind of a little bit hard to think that medieval times is not really that long ago, but isn't. So anyway, now we can go inside. We've got a nice little what are these things called? Support beams going across the insides. I kind of like how it's a little bit grid patterned. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's truly a grid just because it's kind of broken up by the stand here, that someone's able to just man the station and do it like check out customers basically. So we've got different products here. We've got we've got red dusty boys for 10 blocks of 24 karat gold. Seems like a decent price. Seems kind of like a decent price. We've got a repeater that works sometimes for a puppy. I mean, when I created that price, I was thinking a puppy is a very good trade. I enjoy puppies very much, and for a repair that works sometimes, I mean, well, it's a good deal for me, maybe not for the customer. But anyway, it's a Comparado. I mean, it kind of works, I guess. 2 cents, whatever. We've got a glorified table right here that you can put up eat cakes off of. I have that down for 10 American dollars. I actually had 2 of these, but this one I accidentally spilt maple syrup on top of. So instead of American dollars, I decided it would be discounted to 10 Canadian dollars. Did I just say Canadian? Whatever, let's just move on. This is a glow orb, and obviously it's the wizarding community that would be desiring a glow orb, so I decided that the price of this was going to be a magic staff because they have a lot of those on hand. I feel like that's a relatively alright price for that. Anyway, we've got other items in here. It's a stone with a face. It's got a face on it. You can place it down. It like deposits items. It spits them out. This one's 20 diamonds. I think that's relatively reasonable. It's also so let's see. We've got a DIY item sorter. It doesn't really sort items that great. It just deposits them later, and I believe that because it's a do-it-yourself item they have to put together, that a table from IKEA is only like a reasonable trade-off for that. One do-it-yourself item for another do-it-yourself item. If we head upstairs, we have basically not really the store anymore. This is just like areas for maybe employees if they just want to catch a rest or something. There's like time. They can just put all their stuff down. Kind of the same idea in this room. We've also got a reading room. I've got various like books in here. I also have some books in my inventory that I can read, and then you can just sit down in the minecart and read all of your books to your heart's content in here. Over here, it's a bathroom that's a medieval bathroom anyway. It doesn't actually have plumbing. We just, the water's a little bit murky, but, well, it hasn't been changed in a while, and, yeah, let's just not look at that or smell it too much right now. It's a good building, right? It's not a good building. What was I thinking? What was I thinking when building this? I was just going to say, I am totally an interior decorator. I am like so great at interior decorating. I'm not even a good shopkeeper. What are these items? What are these items? Like, there's not anyone like here working unless I am the one who's working. I just gotta be here and like take the customer's money whenever I need to. What's the point of this? There's even like holes in the ground. There's holes all over the place. And what's this? It's a button. There was a hidden button, right? Because of the new update. There's a new update that had like different types of wooden buttons. Of course, it was extremely hidden, but ooh. Here we go. This is the store. This is the awesome store right down here. So, yeah, over here, you can buy frontline tokens for 10 iron. And you may be thinking, why in the world would you want a frontline token? And to be fair, I wouldn't blame you for not wanting a frontline token. But technically, they're really just a way for me to price them differently. Like right now, this is 4 redstone blocks per frontline token. So instead of charging 5 halves of iron ingots for a redstone block, I just decided, hey, you know what? If I want to vary the price or what I want to charge for like redstone services or blocks or anything, I can just like change the frontline token amount to like the value of it. And that's relatively easy. I'll show you the redstone like later, but over here, we've got like the main part of the shop. I doubt that most people are going to want to use this redstone, like the redstone that I have here, and that in reality, people are going to want to use these books and quills to file out different like orders for redstone things. You know, like I could just type in here like piston door, please, and if I would have spelled piston right, then we would have just been able to deposit the book here. This is like the completed order forms, and this is a feature that you might not have actually known about, but, well, of course you want to know about it. I'm showing you right now. But anyway, this light here, you may have noticed it was off before, but it's on whenever a completed order form is in that chest. So if I ever go into my shop and I'm all like, ooh, the light's on, then I immediately know that I need to go downstairs and I need to, go into this chest. I need to go into this chest for the completed order forms and look at it, and I can say, ooh, someone wants a piston door, please. So, yeah, anyway, redstone request here, that's basically the point of the shop. Well, I guess I should have stepped on it before, but there is a pressure plate here that if you step on, then it allows for a little piston to retract, and then I'm able to actually go in and modify the redstone a little bit. In here, I can pick up the goods that are produced from these machines, because whenever you put in like your 10 iron or frontline tokens, they end up in these chests. I'm able to take from them. And if I really want to modify the prices later, I can go back into this area here and modify. I won't really show how the redstone works right now. I'll have to at some point in the future create a tutorial on how to make these no cheat shops, because I've used them in adventure maps before. If I can quickly test this, see, I have 20 iron. I'm able to just put all that in here, and you may think that you have to put in 10 at a time. No, it ends up working. I'm just able to wait over here. The iron gets through the system. See, I get one frontline token, which are renamed diamonds, by the way. And I'm able to put them in here. If I actually wait for the other one, it might be a little bit of a better demonstration anyway. So there we go. We got the second one. I'm able to put these in here. The system will work. The system should work. I didn't really record much down here because I wanted to do the skit at the beginning of the clip, but technically a creeper did blow up, so I actually don't know if I did any of the redstone wrong. Oh, actually, I think I know exactly what I did, but I'll fix that later. Don't worry. When this shop becomes available to the public, it will be working. So don't worry about trying to lose your well-earned frontline tokens in the future. I will make sure the problem doesn't exist anymore. But anyway, the last thing I gotta showcase in this build, I know this clip is really long because there was a lot to showcase, but right down here is a minecart automatic little track. The minecart doesn't stop automatically, so you have to get into it really quickly if you want to be able to make your ride. But yeah, this is a little level here. It's at y equals, I mean, it's technically y equals 50 is where it's built at, but because I'm in a minecart, I'm a little bit lower. In the top left-hand corner of the screen is a 49. So in reality, it's at y equals 50, but 49 is what it displays as. So I'm able to go all the way over here, go up the track, and on each side is these cactuses and hoppers. Sometimes you pick up the minecart. This time I didn't, but it ends up going back into the dispenser that you're able to go onto the track one more time again. So yeah, that's pretty much all. Again, this is the basement that we built in the last episode. If you haven't seen that, I would suggest watching through that. But that should really be all for this video today, because we were able to build our little redstone shop in full this episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and subscribe for more Craftaway content like this in the future. And until the next episode, I will see you guys all later. Bye.